I'm Kalen and I'm doing Chapter 19 Sporting Goods and Licensing Products. Basically, sporting goods include athletic equipment, athletic footwear, athletic apparel, and athletic accessory items. Licensed products include items of clothing or products bearing the name of the logo of a popular collegiate or professional sports team. Licensing programs, professional sports leagues are run by a for-profit branch in each league called the Properties Division. Both sporting goods and licensed products produce billions of dollars in revenue for major sports properties. One of the first examples of a sporting goods store came in the 1800s when George Tyron, who was a gunsmith, opened up a fish and tackle store and actually ended up becoming a major sporting goods store. Albert Spalding of Spalding Basketballs and Spalding Sporting Goods Corporation exemplified the early sporting goods business person when he turned a loan of $800 into a sporting goods manufacturing giant. One of his best ideas that still resonates today was to create a distribution system in which he actually gave retailers a set price, and before that, retailers could choose however much they wanted to charge for it, and he created a bigger profit for the retailers. In the early 1900s, many athletes began to endorse sporting good products. That's something that still definitely resonates till today. In the 1920s, Adidas was founded, and thanks to a partnership with FIFA, they were and still are the go-to company for soccer cleats. Sporting goods industry actually declined in 1940 due to World War II, and didn't really pick up until after Korean War because there just wasn't a lot of people to use them. And later in the century, two companies, Nike and Reebok, mostly Nike, emerged as giants of the industry. Thanks to endorsements from Michael Jordan and other athletes, Nike actually has become the biggest sporting goods company in the world right now, and its annual revenue has grown from $269 million to $19.1 billion in 2009. One of the first steps towards developing licensed products came in 1947 when the Oregon Ducks asked permission from Walt Disney to use Donald Duck as their logo, and Walt Disney said they could. UCLA is credited with the first school to actually enter into a real license agreement when a manufacturer that made watches gave them a license in 1973. NCAA formed its Properties Division to license championship merchandise in '75, although it does not administer license agreements for its schools. In '63, the NFL became the first professional league to form Properties Division, followed by the MLB in '66, NHL in '69, and NBA in '82. The first major licensing agreement with the Players Association agreed in the 1960s when Major League Baseball Players Association entered agreement with Coca-Cola. Collegiate licensing product sales totaled $100 million in the early 1980s, $2.5 billion in 1995, and $2.7 billion 10 years later. The peak for license sales for major college and pro licensed products was $13.8 billion in '96. Careers in licensing and merchandising include jobs in corporate offices. They can also include different licensing jobs at various corporate offices for companies, and also jobs at like Dick's Sporting Goods or anywhere else for retail stores. The market is changing a lot, and actually one example is it came in the '90s when former Maryland running back Kevin Plank made this new type of performance undershirt, which later became Under Armour, and it started in '96 and it's now worth $1.83 billion. Or it's now has a reported revenue of $1.83 billion. When choosing who to endorse your products, one of the important things to do is make sure that the person can actually use them and shows people that the thing works. So, for instance, 2001, two brother snowboarders founded a company called Grenade, which was basically founded to show that they'll use the products that they're endorsing and show that they actually work. And in 2001, they started it with just gloves, and now they actually have different types of snowboarding apparel and clothing and accessories. Another company in China called Li Ning was named after former Chinese gold medalist, and in '90 it was generating 700. Or in '90 it was founded and it's now generating $700 million a year. And they actually hope to expand to the United States and move that number up to $1 billion by 2015. The Sporting Goods Manufacturers Association, SGMA, is the trade association for manufacturers, producers, and distributors of sporting goods. In the apparel industry, there are many trade associations. The aforementioned SGMA is the trade association for manufacturers, producers, and distributors of sports apparel, footwear, sporting goods equipment. They serve more than 1,000 sporting good manufacturers, retailers, and marketers in the sport product industry. According to SGMA, the industry employs more than 375,000 people and generates $60 billion in domestic revenue per year. In professional sports, licensees basically pay the teams and leagues, aka the licensors, a royalty, which is a fee set by licensors, the right to use their registered trademarks, which is any word, symbol, or name or device used by a manufacturer or merchant. Fees can range anywhere from 4% of total sales for toys and games, or 20% for trading cards and video games. In college sports, some D1 schools manage their own licensing programs, while a lot of others aren't big enough to do that, so that they go through companies such as the College Licensing Company, which was formed in 1981, and manages agreements around 200 colleges. The market for collegiate merchandising is worth $3.5 billion as of '08. The issues that I face today, biggest one by merchandise is keeping the profit margins high while keeping the prices low. And one of the controversial ways they do that is by outsourcing production of their clothing to third world countries. That way they can pay them low wages. And for instance, there are reports that Nike was actually paying their workers in Indonesia as low as $135 a day, which is well under the U.S. minimum wage per hour. And a big legal issue that's come with licensing is leagues like the NFL are using agreements for the entire league to use one type of apparel, but in 2010 there was an antitrust lawsuit against the NFL by a company because basically they said that while the NFL is one entity, they have 32 different teams and each team should be able to have a different one. And the Supreme Court did agree with them, although they went down to the lower courts and they never really figured anything out, and NFL right now uses Nike as its sole supplier. The information in this chapter will help me with my career because I want to either work in a front office or a college athletic department. And while I won't actually use any of this stuff, I won't actually deal with this stuff directly, there will be a lot of people around me for sure that will be doing a lot of stuff.